Okay, let's get to it. The intraday guys probably did or had fun today. This is not really showing much. Again, be careful with people that are saying, "Oh, it's the top of double top," which is to me usually it's probably a Wall Street setup. Versus, I never see stuff top out like this. So what I want to see is it go down. Get, let's say, below here and then flag a little bit, or come down from this high and then pretty much flag down. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Looking at the 30-minute, you can kind of see that it's pretty much went down hard in the morning and came back up about halfway. So let's kind of see, actually, before we start making guesses, let's actually see what it is. So it made a 62% retracement. So it still can go down, but again, I'm looking at the overall picture of this. It's creeping. It's not giving any type of separations, which we discussed before. Separation from here, retrace up. Get separation from here, retrace up. Now it's just been going in and out. So if I took this and just show you the price action, just going in and out, in and out, in and out. Now it could come break above here. I'm not looking to trade the breakout. I would look to be getting in, and I think you couldn't have gotten in because it would have gapped up. You might have got stopped out, or you kept your stop below here. But to trade the breakout, to me, is just very cautious, because a lot of this is the part that actually hurts breakouts the most, because this was a breakout. It broke out above this, rolled back in, took stops out. Broke above here, gave a little bit, rolled back in, nothing for the swing. This one, again, you don't want to be set up again, so you kind of just want to see how this price action clear up. But again, this is not a bad looking chart whatsoever. QQQ, pretty much the same thing. Come on already. Yeah, so this actually looks pretty good. I mean, it's still holding these levels, came down, broke above. Again, this is not something, this probably, again, got stopped a lot of the breakout guys from this point. I'm just kind of telling you, it is what it is. So it stopped a lot of guys out on the breakout, and they could proceed higher. We don't know, but again, that's what's going on right now. IWM is actually not looking good at all. This one is giving a lower high from here, so you see the separation from here all the way down here, gave another pivot point, so it breaks below this 50, and it can move sharply, and it can move very, very fast. So the way that it crept down, moved fast to the upside, it's the way that if it came, again, I'm looking at the lower high more importantly than this double top shit. It's just a matter of the lower high. You want to guess here, again, that's the hard money. You want to guess here, okay, let's go back into it. You want to guess here, no. Here, okay, a little bit less risk. Here, okay, you got 3 lower highs, okay, you got less risk, less risk, less risk, versus trying to guess this one single point. I think that's a real recipe for frustration. The Dow still looks pretty good above things. You could run up. Let's look at some names today. Apple gave an engulfing pattern, but again, I wouldn't be looking at this, and maybe it's just a retracement, and it's starting to creep as well. Look at here, you can kind of see that it's starting to give a little crap movements as well. So it could come test down this line. We've got to see, again, break down below, flag down. That's when I'm looking for the short. Right now, I'm not looking for anything to be going short this name. You got JP Morgan popped up and pretty much stayed up. Let's look at the 15-minute. You can see it popped up and pretty much stayed sideways. So that looks pretty good. Excuse me. Well, if I'm going to have it up here, why not? Boeing, you can see just having a little bit of trouble around that 200-day. If it breaks below this low, some people might have taken this if you're aggressive on a shooting star above that 200. You got to be aggressive to get that type of play. You got Johnson & Johnson actually wasn't given the price action I really liked, and it ended up folding. And this could be the 3-bar pullback above this high and then continue to the downside. So again, if you're looking to get low here, I think that's the chase, especially with this volume increasing like this. I think if you're looking for a higher low, a lower high, that could be a better play. Same thing going with Philip Morris. This actually looks good to the downside. You got Microsoft. That one's looking good. You got, what other names can we look at? You got Walmart. Walmart is kind of in, I mean, if it breaks above these highs, it could be a pretty good play. But again, this is not really giving any type of, a trend per se. Let's see what Tesla did. Tesla, kind of want to see who's going to win out of this battle. The battle for the two. You got a strong up day. You look at the 30-minute. you can kind of see you have a strong up day and then you have a strong down day. So I don't know who's going to win this battle, and I would just pretty much wait it out. You got Solar City. This is a nice setup actually for, has a lower high breaking below this. You just want this volume to decrease the downside, plus you have momentum to the downside. That looks good for a short. You got Netflix. Netflix is just sideways. You got Amazon. Amazon gave those monster moves. It's pretty much, I don't know if you want to look at this as an inside day to get long, but you can see that the volume decreased to the, if it breaks above these highs, it could go. But again, I would want to see a better setup in my eyes. You got Priceline as well. That's just kind of going sideways. So you just have to be really cautious regarding that stuff. Yahoo is popping up now around that $37 range. I think was after hours. I think it has some earnings and stuff. So you want to look at that stuff. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to go too far. I've been going pretty far for the last couple times. And, again, it's about these indexes you got to be really cautious with. But again, the underlying trend is up. So we just want to see what's going on. How this thing is going to follow up. We had that gap up, no move yesterday we discussed about, and then we had, intraday, you want to look at, this 30-minute, pretty much had the high of the day come here and then just pretty much rolled and didn't get but 62% in, and could potentially roll a little bit more. But if you look at the bigger picture from the daily, I would wait for a lower high to get set up versus trying to pick a top, because if you still, it's not that much of a lower bottom. If it breaks below these lows, if you're aggressive, maybe. But again, the IWM is something that I'm like, oh shit, this one does look like it's something that could be breaking down. So we'll see how it goes, and take care, trading well.